So we all know that top players sometimes like to farm number 1 places on leaderboards on certain maps because it's just in general cool to have. Like, who wouldn't like to have a collection of 100 maps that you're number 1 on the leaderboards on? But when you get the number 1 spot, it is also important to maintain it because it's pretty hard to just set one score and have the number 1 score be number 1 for a pretty long time. There will always be another player who will set a better score than you and snipe that number 1 spot from you. But what happens when all of your number 1 scores get targeted by a top player and you can't do anything about it? Well, in today's story, that is exactly what I'm going to talk about. Hi, my name is Stu, and on this channel I usually talk about new stuff. And if you want to be updated on the latest stuff that happens in the Osu community, then be sure to hit that sub button, it would really be appreciated. So, our story starts when Polish top players decided to snipe some of Welter's and Chicony's number 1 spots on certain maps. However, out of the two, the main target was Welter. I don't know why they specifically chose him, but the reason why Polish players decided to target Russian players is probably because in OWC their next opponent is Russia. And well, Welter noticed that he was losing a lot of number 1 spots on certain maps from Polish players, so he decided to slightly fight back. Chicony was also fighting the Polish players, and at first it was looking pretty good. They were getting their number 1 spots back, and in fact Chicony gained a bit more since he was fighting a bit more back compared to Welter. However, that wouldn't last long because the Polish team had a certain player that they not include at first when they were sniping Welter. You can even say that this player is their secret key slash secret weapon in this attack of theirs that they had, and he's also known as one of the best tournament players that this game has ever seen. And of course I'm talking about Maliszewski. And well, when Maliszewski joined this war, it turned from a war to a Polish player just straight up torturing a Russian player. If you go on Welter's profile, you can see that he was trying to slightly fight back, but after a few hours you can see that all hope was completely lost and this person just completely gave up. So many number 1 scores from Welter were sniped by Maliszewski in the Polish team to the point that I can't even fit the amount that he lost in a singular picture. Well, I lied, I can definitely fit them, but the picture is useless because can you read anything off of it? I think not, so I genuinely don't see a point of making this screenshot, but just for reference, that's how much he lost. In fact, Welter has lost around 70 number 1 scores all because of Maliszewski in the last 24 hours. Welter was just trying to play it cool on Twitter by posting the amount of number 1 scores that he lost and also flexing on the mirror. Chicony was trying to help him by sniping some of Rafis' number 1 scores, but you can tell that he definitely regretted it the moment that Maliszewski started to target him. When Maliszewski decided to snipe Chicony on a score that had 0 FCs and he snipes him with an SS on the map, and then he proceeds to snipe Chicony on another map with a 1x100 score on a finger control reading map. Oh, and he also did that first try, by the way. So yeah, this number 1 score sniping battle lasted pretty long, and I guess the moral of the story is never f around with Maliszewski because he will snipe your ass to the oblivion and back. I mean, he literally has over 2,000 number 1 scores. So yeah, keep that in mind. But yeah, that is pretty much everything for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Be sure to click the video on screen if you haven't watched my previous Osu News episode, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.